Good morning all, it's Phil and I'm out on the bike again, as you can see. Riding around 10 past 10 nearly in the evening, so I thought I'd give the drift a go. I've been out for about short of an hour I think, and I think often when I come out on the bike, I bring the drift and it's on the helmet anyway, but I don't start it recording. It's just there. But a lot of the times I come out on the bike, I come out just to often, how do I put it, just to not think about anything, if you know what I mean. Just to get out and enjoy the bike and not worry about or think about anything else. So I often come out with a camera on and I ride out for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours and I don't film a thing. I don't often set off out with the camera thinking I must go out and put the camera on because I want to do this topic or vlog or must say this to people. So often I ride around for a long time thinking nothing or not much, or whatever I do think might be something I don't want to put on video. So often it's private time, it's me time. I've just been riding around and thinking a lot of these things I'm thinking I should be sharing, I should be putting on here. So now I am. Right, I set off out tonight with the intention of going and checking. I'm going to take this turn actually. I'm going to go up here. This is a lovely little road. I came up here, I think, on my way back from the Devil's Bridge recently. Yeah, I went out with the intention of going out and checking the tyre pressures on the bike, and I thought there's not actually that many garages where it's free anymore to use the air machine. So I set off with one in mind, Sainsbury's in Halifax. And I went to Sainsbury's and I went to the air machine and it was free. And I went to check the front tyre, and can I hell get the nozzle to fit onto the valve? I can't get their attachment from their air pump to fit onto my valve. It fits the valve, but you can't get the rest of the handle behind the nozzle. It's too long. They put a little angle on the end, on the actual valve attachment. There's a little bend in that, which is all well and good for cars, and maybe it works on some bikes, but this one, twin discs on the front wheel, so there's a disc each side, and you can't get the attachment to fit onto the valve no matter what you do. Now, not my own fault that happens, but my own fault that I knew about that and didn't do anything about it, because that man from Yorkshire, first time I met him and we went out for a ride to Malham, he had clever little valve adapters on the valves on his bike, which basically turn the valve through 90 degrees. They plug onto your own valve and they turn 90 degrees and then let you attach the air pump to the 90 degree bend. So you're attaching to something which is sticking at a straight right angle out to the side of your wheel. So disc, no problem. no obstruction from the disc brake then. And I'd seen his and thought, yeah, good idea, but didn't get any. Go on, girl, keep going. So I hadn't got any for myself after seeing them and thinking, yeah, they're a good idea. And now I can't do the front tyre pressure. So that gets me on to thinking, well, I must get some of those valve adapters then. If I get the valve adapters, same on mine, 90-degree angle, and never a problem again. Now, things rattle around inside my brain. There's not much else in there to stop things from rattling around. So that idea gets in there, and I start thinking, well, I bought my brother an air compressor for Christmas. Not this year, I don't think. I think it was the year before. Bought my brother an air compressor, which, you know, for his own garage. So he's got a compressor with the attachments that came with it, and I mean, this is overkill. That's a few £100 worth of air compressor, which does have the attachments to pump up tyres. And it has an air gauge on that, so he can check his own tyres on his car, on his bike, and pump them up himself at home. Never need to go to a garage again. But I'm not going to buy an air compressor. I'm not going to spend 300 quid to pump my tyres up. It's a question of either get these little valves, which I could buy on eBay. That's the usual thing. What do we do when we need something? We look for it on eBay, see how much it is, because usually, even if you go to your local parts, motorbike or motor accessories shop, you're going to find whatever you need, a few quid, sometimes cheaper on eBay. The downside is, with the limited time that I've got for my biking and shopping and tinkering with the bike, if I go and find them on eBay and order them, you're looking a minimum of 2-3 days, usually a couple of days more than that, before they arrive. Now, I'm going to be back at work on Sunday this week, so I don't want to order them. Making some bad gear changes today, bad gear choices. Yeah, so the thing is, I don't want to go order them on eBay now and have them come in once I'm back at work, and I work long hours and I don't get to get out on the bike. You know, I want them, it's not just impatience, but I want them now. I want to do it. I want to get them, go out, buy them from the shop, get them home, put them on, get the tyres checked. So the next transformation of the idea, I must get the valve adapter with a 90-degree bend in it, is I must get another thing I bought for my better half, Marion, was when she had a flat tyre on a car that was parked outside her own in her own car park outside the flat, and no air pump to pump that up on her own car. So what I bought for Marion Went to Halfords, got one of those, not sure what make it is, Michelin's own, I think it is. Not Halfords, but Michelin's own brand. Air pump, 12 volt, cigarette lighter operated job. And got an air pump for her. Plug it in your own 12 volt socket in the car, pump your own tyres up, it's got an air gauge on it, everything's good. It's got lights on it, LED lights all over it, so you can see what you're doing if you're at the side of the road and you're pumping up in the dark. Right, perfect. So now my idea is, instead of getting valve adjusters, you know, the valve adapters, get an air pump. Keep an air pump for myself. Good, right, job settled. I want one of those, so I can go to Halfords and look and get something the same or similar. £40 area, £45, somewhere around there. Okay, that's an idea for tomorrow. Start a shopping list. The shopping list started with these 90-degree valve adapters. That changed to get an air pump, do it myself. Right, next thing. Went out to the bike earlier in the garage, tried to take the seat off. I was going to check something to do with the back light, the back bulb, as in what type of bulb it is that's in there, which fitting. It's a stop and tail light all in one, I think, just one bulb, but which fitting is it, as in they're usually like a bayonet fitting, if you want to refer to them as that, but sometimes the pins are offset. They're either one's higher than the other, so they're offset high and low, or they're not directly opposite each other round the edge, as in the circumference of the thing. So sometimes they're higher and lower, and sometimes they're not opposite. So if I'm going to get spare, I need to know what's in there. So I goes to try, take off the seat to get to the backlight bulb holder, and I can't get the seat off. The key goes in the seat release on the side of the bike, but it will not turn it, not at all. So thinking, right, what's this going to involve now? First I thought I'm going to take it in somewhere and get it looked at. Probably have to be a Yamaha dealer, knowing my luck. But then I thought, no, I'll have a look at it. I'll at least check it myself. I'll check it myself and see if it's anything simple, and I can do it. So I've got my tools, got out the Allen key. No, actually it's not an Allen key fitting, it's a Torx setting, Torx screw fitting. So I've got the Torx drive, tried to put one in, but it's got security torque, so it's got the star shape round the outside, but the middle there's a little pin that stops you putting the drive inside. So I haven't got anything to fit that. It's a security screw, Torx screw, and I don't have the set for those. I've no doubt you can buy them, but again at the moment I haven't got them, so nothing to fit. So I can't remove that and look and find out why. Why can I not release the seat? Now unfortunately on this bike, most serviceable parts involve removing the seat. Even getting to the battery involve removing the seat and the tank. You can't lift the tank on this without removing the seat, so you need to be able to get your seat off. It's a fact. You need the seat off to do anything on this. If I'm going to get the heated grips fitted, you need to get under the tank to the battery to wire it in, which means you need the seat off. So I went and did a quick search on our friendly internet, Google, FZ6 seat release seized or stuck, however I worded it, and I found FZ6 forums comes up with a result. Somebody else has posted the similar thing. 2004 model FZ6 Phaser. He can't get his seat off. The key goes in, but it does, in his case, it turns slightly, and then you won't let him turn it all the way. So a few answers and a few replies say other people have got the same problem, or have had the same problem, or know of a fix for the same problem. Now, on a forum, an FZ6 forum where people come for help and support and to share knowledge, one reply to him was, yeah, I've had that and I know what it is, but I'm not telling you on here how to fix it. And I thought, why are you even on here then? What is your purpose on this forum? You're not there to help at all. So that kind of shatters my idea of what these forums are for, these vehicle-specific communities. So there we find somebody who's got an answer, and he knows, well, he says he knows what it is, he's experienced it, he knows what the fault is, but he's not telling anyone. So thanks for that one. A few people did share suggestions of what it could be, and apparently attached to the back of the lock that you use the bike key to put in the lock and turn it, on the back of that apparently is a mechanism and a cable which pulls the seat release. So some people have said apparently there is access to that cable and the mechanism from underneath the bike. I mean literally underneath the seat. So you're working at above the back wheel, and being where the exhausts are on this bike, if you've got, some people mention, if you've got the stock muffler, as they call them, stock exhaust cans, you can't, or you're more difficult at getting to the mechanism or the cable to release the seat manually. But some have said if you've got scorpions on there, somebody said they've got scorpion cans, then they've got easier access to the cable and they could get to it. Did manage to release the seat manually and got the seat off. So obviously you've still got the problem, but you can get your seat off. So I'm going to have a look at that. And one person said what had happened for them was dirt, debris, stones, whatever had been kicked up off the road underneath the bike and got into that mechanism where, on the back of where the key goes in, and that was what was jamming it for them. So they said they blew theirs out with an airline from underneath, got to it from underneath. I'm doing 27 and the 30 warning flashed at me to slow down. So that's another possibility, but again we're down to the fact I haven't got an airline. I haven't got my own airline air compressor, so I might, I mean it's only fair, I bought him the air compressor for Christmas. Time to ring my brother and say, look, if I bring the bike up, you just give it a go, spray out the mechanism underneath the seat with your airline, and just see if it clears, if there's something in there in the mechanism jamming it, small stone, bit of mud, debris off the road. Hopefully that'll clear it. That would be ideal, because what I don't want, the bike, it's got one key. The key does the ignition, it does the seat release, and it does the helmet, the little helmet clip on the side. So one key, and what I don't want to have is it's either going to be a Yamaha dealer job to I don't know what's going on here. Is it just the police? Because this is a speed camera area. Or is it? It's a breakdown. Yeah, breakdown. yeah, if it has to go to a dealer and they have to strip it down, take it off, or even just an independent garage, and they strip it down, find out what's wrong, fix it, replace anything, am I going to be able to keep it on the one key? Am I going to be able to keep that one key for the whole bike, for the 3 locks? What I don't want is to have to replace that, get a new key, get, you know, a new lock set, a new key, and have 2 keys for the bike, where one's the ignition and the helmet lock, but the other one is the seat release. I don't like that. It's untidy. It's not good. That's just me on the fuss pot. But there you go. So, shopping list. Go out and get an air pump. Then I'm thinking, okay, I won't go to Halfords for this air pump. Maybe Heingerich do them. If Heingerich do a little 12 volt home air pump thing, I'll have a look on their website when I get back now. Now I've got that idea. I've got the vouchers for Heingerich to spend. So I'm still contemplating, do I buy a set of heated handlebar grips from Heingerich for £80 or not? Do I get one of these, I can't remember, an Oxford battery optimizer, but they don't call it an optimizer, I think it's got a different name, to connect up to my battery, that tells you the battery condition, the power output of the battery, the charge rate for the battery, and allows you to charge it. I want to have a look at one of those and see how that would go on for fitting to my bike. Because of where the battery is, instead of it being on the side behind a cover, which is what I've always been used to, you just pop off a side cover and the battery terminals are there. This one's under the tank, so any flat battery, you've got to get the seat off the tank off, connect up a jump pack to the battery under the seat, under the tank. So one of these, I believe what they can do is you buy these Oxford things and they attach a red and black cable with a ring terminal onto your battery, so they're attached permanently to the battery bolts. And if you ever get a flat battery, now if I go straight down here, this is Thornton Road, if I go straight down here, it's boring, it's a straight line. So what I tend to do, if I'm ever doing this route, is take this one. It's a bit more interesting. It's not a very good road. There are speed bumps, but well, hey, there you go, straight down the middle. But the road itself is bumpy. It's got ruts and grooves and a terribly uneven surface. But there you go. Yeah, so this Oxford thing, I think, attaches to your battery, stays on there permanently. There's a fairly big, like, handheld module which has got the LCD readout on it and backlit display telling you all your battery conditions, and it's got LEDs and warning lights on it and what have you. And I think that you hide that away somewhere on the bike, or that may disconnect from the wires that are on the battery. I have no idea. This is what I need to find out. There's my old school and it's all boarded up for some reason. Yeah, and then if you do get a flat battery and you need to charge or whatever, it's the charger as well. It's the Oxford optimizer or oximizer, I think it's something like that. So it can trickle charge your battery, it can discharge, I believe, and condition and recharge your battery if needed. So it's a charger, it's a battery tester, it's a battery conditioner, all in one. So I could have a look at one of those at Heingerich. So they're about £30–40. There's a couple of different models, one probably does more than the other or has a better display than the other. We'll have a look, see what we need, what we fancy. So we're getting a shopping list together now. Oxford battery charger, the air pump or air valves, adapters. Excuse me, there's a bit of indigestion, which I don't understand because I ate 4 hours ago. Yeah, so there we go, we're getting a list together. Go to Heingerich, spend the vouchers, see what else takes my fancy. Yeah, that at the top of that hill was my old school roadsway, and we were riding along roadsway outside Roadsway School. That was Roadsway Upper School, the last school I went to, and that's that's Fair with the Green School. It's actually changed its name now, so it's not going to be what I tell you it is. But when I went there, that was Fair with the Green Middle School, and this was Crossley Hall First School. So this was my first school, Crossley Hall Primary, and they are actually attached. It's all one building, apart from the terrapins and the external porter cabin buildings, classrooms. But that's Crossley Hall Primary School, and along this is Thornton Road back where I would have come straight down if I'd kept going. But the other half of this building here was Fair with the Green Middle School. So, yeah, bits of things to go and look at tomorrow. And now the other thing is, if I'm going to Heingerich, I don't want to go to the one in Bradford. It's a really small piddly little shop. I might go down just for convenience to have a look, but there's a much better, much bigger shop in Leeds. Heingerich, Leeds, which would be nicer. I've been there. So that's an idea. I'll have a research tonight on the Tinterweb and see what's what they sell, what the prices are, give myself more of an idea. And that's it. Oh, hey man. Left lane for straight ahead and left turns into a right turn. Not very good. What are we doing here? You're pulling over, but yeah, don't indicate until you've actually pulled over. That's useful. Turn clear. Again, speed bumps. Which I can weave in between the speed bumps, but the road itself, even avoiding the speed bumps, the road itself is terrible. And their idea of parking is terrible. Look, big spaces, but the ignorant and arrogant attitude of drivers in Bradford is don't bother parking. Park on the pavement, park on the corner, not just near the corner, on the corner. Yeah, ignorant. Again, spaces everywhere. But where are you going to park? On the pavement. Just dropped engine neutral. Yeah. Definitely a joy to drive in Bradford. Neutral again. So there you go. I'm gonna get in for the night now. Thaw out, dry off. I'm gonna just film this little ride down the hill. 20 mile an hour speed limit, so I can't go mad. But the exhaust and the engine sounds lovely. So I'm just going to film this. This is my usual, what I do. I never go straight home. I always take my time. I go round and round in circles. And the circles get smaller and smaller. I go on the roads round about where I live and round the area where I live, and then get to where I live and the circles get smaller and smaller. Actually thinking I shouldn't ride around like this. In the area where I live, as it just draws attention to the bike, and I don't want attention in this area. Yeah, don't bother to thank me. I was going to wait anyway. No rush. Right, that's it. Enough. I shall catch you all again. If you stayed with me till this far, you'll notice I'm going around again. I'm going to do another lap. Right, yeah, if you stayed with me till this far in the video, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with me. And as 700 said, there's something wrong with everyone. I do agree. And now, going back this way, and I came the other way earlier, go back. There's some lovely cobbles here and a big dip in the middle of one of them. Where is it? The next one, I think. If I keep my normal line, it goes straight through. Yeah, the middle of a big dip. And he's parked again, right by a big parking space, enough room to get the car in, and he's sat out in the middle of the road. Ignorant, arrogant. Yeah, there you go. Right, that's it. Take care everybody, ride safe, and I'll catch you again. This is Phil.